It's Tuesday. We're here. Yep, and my best Muttley laugh. All right, let's see. I've got mute. I think I've got everything done. I muted the computer. Let's see if y'all can see me. I can see me. Texas Babs is 5x5. So far, one person can see me. Finley, Gray Sky. Okay, good deal. So a few of you guys can see me. All right. Welcome to another Tuesday edition of Who the Hell Said That Again? God. So let me start off with this one. Censorship. Okay. And I'm going to give you two. In case you missed the news today, the nicest guy on YouTube is in jail. Rudy from Alaska Prepper got put in YouTube jail for a week today for his video that we discussed about a week ago, the Gideon interview. And so, don't know, I emailed over to my post on the community board. I've seen a couple other channels mention it. So if anybody's wondering where Rudy is, he's in the pokey at the moment. Don't know if he's going to be posting on his Rumble channel, or I think he's got Patreon. I'm not sure. But if you're looking for Rudy, that's what's going on. So maybe he'd just spend a week doing a lot more stuff, putting his homestead together, because God knows he's busting ass right now. But of course, that wouldn't be the only censorship thing going on. If any of you who still have television, if y'all know One American News Network, OANN, okay, kind of took the mantle from Fox for being a conservative channel as Fox keeps drifting further and further and further and further and further left. Well, DirecTV had kicked OANN off their platform earlier this year. And now if you have Verizon as your TV service, guess what? At the end of this month, you no longer get OANN. The reason is they got a lot of pushback from all these liberal groups saying, there's too much conservative news on TV. You need to get rid of it. And being the good little communists they are, said, oh, okay, we'll put CNN and MSNBC on more. Because all 18 people that watch those two channels combined, hell, they don't understand English anyway. So, not that they don't speak the language, it's just they aren't smart enough to understand the concept of truth versus fiction. Again, the Cartoon Network has, better commentary than CNN, but that's beside the point. So, should anything happen to me, okay, y'all know where you can find me on the backup channel. I know Lorna posts the link every week as to what my backup channel is. If all of a sudden I'm not there, go check the backup. And if I'm not on either one of them and all hell is broken loose and YouTube finally says goodbye, go look for me on Rumble. Okay. I don't use the Rumble platform much. I don't like it. And Rumble's drifting further and further and further left as well. But, everybody that jumped Telegram is turning into, another leftist deal. The loony left is pushing all the social media companies to shut us out. So we'll see what happens. But the reason I say that is, have you all noticed that the commentary that you get out of the prepper channels, whether it's Magic or me or Rudy or Travis or Jason or Danny down at Deep South Homestead or, any of us, okay? All of a sudden, it seems to be within 12 to 24 hours, that seems to be the stuff that the news is talking about. I swear the research departments for pick one. I don't care what side you're on, CNN, MSNBC, Breitbart, Newsmax, whatever it would be. I find it absolutely hilarious that 6-8 hours after I post a video, there's a story on exactly what I talked about. Yeah. seems to happen almost every day at this point. I get the feeling that maybe the news media and the politicians are starting to pay attention to what this side says, because the only platform we have to get our word out is videos. And, gee, let's go watch some of the homesteading, prepping, survivalist channels, because that's what the other side thinks. Case in point, okay? I did my video at lunch today on China, right? Basically, if you didn't see it, the master race and what's been going on with how China is taking over the world and nobody's doing anything about it. Oh, gee, well, let's take a look at a Zero Hedge article that came out today that was reprinted from the Epic Times this afternoon. U.S. actually sold 6 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to the Hunter Biden-tied China firm. When did we talk about that? I don't know, a week ago? When did we bring it up again? Today? Oh, that couldn't be the only one. Let's talk about Breitbart, okay? Ron DeSantis, the conservative darling, and I know some people say he's, a rhino. I disagree with you, but that's your opinion. I'm entitled to mine too, okay? What does DeSantis come out and talk about today? China's purchases of American homes and land are a huge problem. Breitbart goes into a whole thing about how they're running up, buying property all over the world, the oil rights, the mineral rights, the water rights. Damn, where have I heard that before? So it's going to be interesting. Just pay attention, because going into November, there's going to be a lot more strangling of the conservative voice on anything, every platform you can imagine, okay? I mean, even the Wall Street Journal is tipping left. There's not going to be any more right-wing or even middle-of-the-road news. Unless it's Pravda US, it's not going to be allowed. And, they're just, like Mrs. P and I were talking about yesterday. The problem is, where do people go? Why do these channels, or why do these websites like Rumble, or, I mean, there's other ones that I don't even know what they're all called. There's too many of them. Why don't they get any traction? Well, their technology is 20 years old. It's clunky and doesn't work. And you tell me, this is the reason I stay on YouTube, is if somebody wants to go, if you want to go look up something, I need to fix the sink. How do I get a drain unplugged? You don't go, I'm going to Rumble it. You go, I'm going to YouTube it, right? Okay. So hence, that's the reason why we stick around here. I don't, and again, my opinion, I don't think YouTube is going to go totally cut everybody off unless you kiss the feet of the communists, because they make too much freaking money. But just be forewarned, things are going to get real sticky here, getting closer and closer. You guys tell me already about, advertisements for Democrat politicians on the channel and stuff like that. You laugh at them, or these crypto crap people, or the spammers and the bots and everything like that, trying to do all this. Yup, we see them all. Okay, so this is what they're doing. They're trying to dissuade people from hearing the truth, because God knows, in the dictionary, next to the word truth, you will never find the word liberal. So, it's like A to Z in the Encyclopedia Britannica. So, yeah, so that's kind of what's going on. Besides the fact that Microsoft came out and reported earnings tonight, and oh, by the way, they sucked. So get ready for a tech crash tomorrow, or a tech down. I won't say crash. All right, let's get into the fun here. And that's Q&A with all you guys. First off, let's thank the police that we have in here: Lucky Dame, Lorna, Robert, Jacob, and North Shore. I can at least see Lorna, Lucky Dame, and Robert were in here. I hadn't seen if Jacob and North Shore made it yet tonight, so we'll see. But I do thank all of them for keeping the riffraff out of here that we just talked about. We'll see how long that it lasts until YouTube decides I'm riffraff. But we'll go from there. All right, so standard procedure on YouTube, guys. If you got questions for me, please put them in all caps. If you want to have a conversation with everybody else, please keep them in lowercase. Makes life a lot easier for me to see what's going on, answer your questions. Because if I don't have to spend time reading ones in lowercase, I can answer a hell of a lot more questions. Please keep it PG-13, guys. The one thing that I do demand in here is that we treat each other with respect. Difference of opinion is fine, just do it politely. I don't expect everybody to agree with me. That's fine. Okay. Some of the things I say, you may say, you're all wet. Okay. That's fine. I will have a polite disagreement with you. No problem. You want to get shitty? You can expect the claws come out, and I guarantee you my tongue is sharper than most people's. So, all right, we're going to keep it short and sweet tonight. You guys, the rest of it, you know the rules, so we'll go from there. All right, let's get into this. And again, as usual, any topics you guys want to talk about, doesn't matter to me. We'll go into them. Keeps my brain sharp when you make me jump from point to point to point, so we'll go from there. All right. So let's see. A bunch of good evenings. And Justin Burnett says, Pinball, why can? And I'm assuming you mean like, why can food? All right, I will give you this as a couple of quick answers. The power goes out tomorrow. For a week. For a month. What happens to everything in your fridge? What happens to everything in your freezer? Rotten. Okay. I don't know about anybody else, depending on where you live, but I mean, we're actually to the point here, we're cleaning out the gardens. Okay. Mrs. P and I were out cutting down all the corn stalks today because we've already harvested our corn. All right. Harvested a lot of beans, a lot of corn, and everything like that. Yeah. Okay. I kind of like to eat in, I don't know, October, November, December. Yeah. That's why I can, because I'm going to have that fresh food that I grew that is not going to be full of preservatives and chemicals and bugs, and I'm going to be able to eat it through the winter. Okay. Plus, I will tell you this too, it tastes a hell of a lot better. Okay. But I don't care if you buy it at the store, make sure you have on the shelf-stable vegetables, shelf-stable fruit, shelf-stable meat, because there's going to be a day where the power is going to go out and you're effed. Okay. I don't care if you got your generators, you got whatever. Hey, I've got gasoline generators. Great. The gasoline runs out. Hey, I've got solar generators. What do you do if it's cloudy for a week? Your food's shot. Okay. You got canned food. That's why you can. Okay. Yeah. Gray Sky Preps, it's great to be a trendsetter. Not trying to be a trendsetter. I'm just trying to get the truth out. Okay. That's the hardest thing about doing this, guys. I mean, somebody sent me a video or an email last night, and it was interesting because it was a link to the Vancouver Times. Okay. And it said, Bill Gates had been arrested for, I don't remember, crimes against humanity. Klaus Schwab was under investigation by Interpol, yada, 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 okay? And the article read like it was true. And other channels, not prepping channels, and at least not any of the prepping channels I follow, were reporting it as true. But she asked me about it. Never heard of the Vancouver Times. It sounds like a newspaper. Okay. I live on the other side of the country. Never lived in you know, Vancouver, Washington, Vancouver, Canada. I don't know which it was. Okay. And I looked at it, and they are, how do they advertise themselves? Something along the lines of the best satire page on the West Coast. Yet there were people that were reporting that as fact. Okay. So think of The Onion, think of Babylon Bee. Here's, another competitor, if you will. The Vancouver Times sounds legit, right? If you look at their webpage, it looks like a news page until you find out it's a satire page. But how many people believe that crap? Okay. Trust me, guys, just because it's on the internet doesn't mean it's true. As I said, always, always double, triple check everything everybody says. Anybody, I mean, I don't care. Double check, triple check what Fox says, what OANN says, what Breitbart says, because you know what? They make mistakes too. All right. If it's CNN, quintuple check, sextuple check. Okay. Because God knows, their editors are 22 years old and have, 12 minutes, of experience out of college. So, all right. Kelly from Canada says, anybody else with a blurry picture? I'm looking at the camera here and it's crystal clear to me. I mean, I'm talking about on a computer, not on my phone. All right. Josh Melby, I watch Pinball in the morning before any news network. And again, a lot of what I say is my opinion based on fact. Understand that, okay? And I'm not going to cover every subject. If it doesn't affect us as preppers, I'm not going to talk about it. A lot of you asked why I didn't do a video on Sunday, why I didn't do or afternoon video on Sunday, why I didn't do an afternoon video yesterday. Sundays are usually very light days. I mean, and a lot of times I will do my gardening videos or something like that on a Sunday. Yesterday, Monday, there was nothing going on in the world. And I'm not going to waste your time to sit through a video for 10, 12 minutes or whatever it is when there's nothing going on. If there's nothing going on, I'm not going to talk about it. Okay. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste your time. So that was it. Redhead 29 789. There's Fed posters galore on Gab. Yeah. If you don't think that the Biden administration is some of the trolls that you see and watching like crazy, yeah, you're wrong. Anybody, as much as we all want to be gray man, trust me, it's very easy to take your name on YouTube. And if you think Google's not going to go, oh, who's Mary1234? Let us pull that up for you, Mr. Department of Justice. You're our friend. No problem. Okay. Let's see. Atelier Teal, probably pronouncing that wrong. MSM researchers probably do monitor prepper channels. It would make sense. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think they would. Like I said earlier, because they want to know what the people are thinking. Then of course they're going to do whatever they can to write something or talk about it on TV to debunk what we're saying. But that's good. That means we're now starting to get under their skin. Mrs. P was watching, y'all know we lived in Vegas, right? And Mrs. P was watching Sin City Outdoors, their YouTube channel, because they've been monitoring Lake Mead. We still have friends out in Vegas and stuff like that, people I used to work with. And she got a laugh out of it when they were talking about the lake today. She says, the guy comes up, I mean, this is an outdoors channel. And they're like, the guy says in his video, he goes, yeah, you know what? Storing food and water might not be a bad idea. Non-preppers starting to go, maybe these guys had it right. I was talking to Mrs. Mountaintop Preps on the porch Sunday night. and talking about uh, how happy we are, and they are too, about the fact that our gardens are in, growing, moving, that we're not going now. Holy crap, I've got to start growing something into July, right? Good luck starting now. So you're going, okay, I've got to plant something in the spring, which is 9 months away. Your harvest time is a year away, and you're going, yeah, okay. Because, again, like I've said many times, it ain't throwing a seed in the ground and go, okay, I'll just come out here in 3 months and pick food. Building soil, building that infrastructure takes time. Yeah. Let's see. K-Rack from Florida, love our governor. This is the issue. Okay, so I'm going to bring this one up too, because there is, excuse me, all sorts of, again, bad information on the internet, and I want to blow this apart. Okay. You will read, everybody's talked about, is 2024 on the Republican side going to be a Trump DeSantis ticket, right? And you will see countless people say, it can't be, you can't have a president and a vice president from the same state. That is 100% wrong. Okay. Now, there's no problem having a president and vice president from the same state. It's totally legal. There's nothing in the Constitution that stops it. The issue that you do get, and this would probably be challenged in court, is states have to give their electoral votes to a president separately from a vice president. And again, if you remember how the Constitution was originally set, was you voted for the president and vice president separately. Well, they changed that throughout the course of history, but they never took out the fact that, never took out from the laws, if you will, that how you voted for president and vice president. So if all the people in Florida voted for Trump with their electoral votes, that means they couldn't vote for Pence. I looked into this. I'm not explaining it well. Okay. What I'm telling you is it's totally fine to do it, but it does become a legal gray area for how to be elected. Okay, let's just leave it at that. No, I didn't spend a whole lot of time digging in it, and I did not explain it well. So, but I know the two things are true. Just don't try to figure out what I just said, because I confused myself. All right, moving along. Sweetie Petite, try BitChute or Discord. I wouldn't spit on BitChute just because of who runs it. You want to talk about the complete fear porn, lies. There is not a drop of truth on there. Yeah, and Discord, yeah, there's nothing. Let's see. Prep Rebel, China should not be allowed to buy U.S. properties or any other country's properties for that matter. I'm not going to say China, okay? What I would love to see, okay, and again, y'all know me, is I'm very black and white. I would love to see whoever the next president is, preferably a constitutionalist, come in and say, within 90 days, sign an executive order on day one. Within 90 days of this executive order, you have 90 days, if you are a foreign entity, to sell the property you own in the United States, or it will be confiscated by the U.S. government and sold at auction. Period. Okay. China owns 192,000 acres in the United States, valued at something like $1.9 billion. And as I said in my video this morning, be an American, try to go buy land in China. Good freaking luck. Can't happen. All right. But I'm sorry, Canada. I'm sorry, India. I'm sorry, Mexico, whatever it is, unless you are a U.S. citizen, you cannot own property in the United States. That's the way it should be. And if I was the one sitting in the White House, that would be my decision. 90 days, sell it or lose it. Okay. This is why I'll never get elected. Let's see. HJS video. If Tennessee seems different tomorrow night, it's probably because I'll be in Morristown for a couple of days. Just thought I'd warn you. Oh, crap. All right. Means I need to make sure I've got fresh bullets. No, yeah. Let's see. Texas SAS. As much as I love 2017 to 2020 policies, I'm not sure this country can take another 4-year term. Okay. If mean tweets are bothering you that much, I'm sorry. Okay. But personally, I would rather have the nastiest, dirtiest, slimiest, mean tweets in the world than the dumbest, stupidest, moronic decisions and comments that we're getting now. Okay. Gee, the biggest problem the United States has is too many women are getting pregnant. Yeah, and this is the woman that they think is going to be president. Really? Okay. Right. Lauren is saying Rudy's not in real jail. He got a strike from YouTube. Yes, like I said, he's in YouTube jail. Okay. It's terminology that's used on YouTube. If somebody thinks he's actually behind physical bars, no, he is not. Okay. He just can't post on his channel for a week. We're going to shoot to the bottom. And let me get back up here, see where I can get caught up. Patrick Greenaway, have I heard about Amazon and Mylar bags? Yeah, I talked about it in a video about 3 days ago. Guys, do me a favor. I know I ask this all the time, but I get these in emails too. If you're going to send me an email, say, oh, did you see this? Make sure you've watched my videos recently, because chances are I've touched on the subject or talked about it. And I don't want to call anybody out for it, but when you send me a video, go, oh, did you see this? Yeah, I did a video on it 10 days ago. Okay. Just saying. I'm pretty good about keeping up with current events. Sweetie Petite, if you get banned, can you ask YouTube to let us keep Mrs. P for her yummy recipes? There you go. Yes, I will tell you this, and we talked about this. We actually did make another batch the other day. What did we make? 10 jars, I think it was, of that Uzbeki spaghetti sauce, if you will. And we did not video it. And the reason we did not video it was because prior to making that, we had made another dozen jars of stuffed peppers. The kitchen was a freaking disaster. Okay. Tomatoes and everything else. I mean, I brought in like 40 pounds of tomatoes, and we had to do something with tomatoes and peppers and squash and everything like this. And she's like, do we want to do it today or do we want to do it tomorrow? And it was like 3:00 in the afternoon. I'm like, screw it. We'll do it today. Get it done. This was on Sunday. And so we did. So I apologize, but I've got more squash growing. We will inevitably do more, but I will tell you guys this, it is freaking delicious. So if you're interested in any Uzbekistani food, okay. Big Dog Ma, do I vacuum seal Freedom Seeds? Y'all know what those are. I'm canning spicy chicken, and this crossed my mind. Crazy prep brain here. No, I just leave them in their original box, and I mean they'll be fine for 10, 12 years, no problem. Okay. And just like anything else, I hope you're going to rotate your ammunition, because you need to continue to train on it. Yes, I know ammo's expensive, okay? And yes, you can dry fire train, and I do that myself and everything. But yes, there's some time that you need to get out and fire the weapon. Okay. Not only for yourself, but you need to make sure that weapon is still in good working order. Okay. You still need to, if you don't fire it, you still need to take it apart at least once a year and clean it and oil it. All right. Dust gets in the weapon. Okay. So make sure you're using your ammo. I'm not telling you to go out and blow off 3,000 rounds or something like that, but go knock out a couple of boxes. Yeah, I know it sucks, it's expensive, but it's necessary because you don't want to be one of these, I don't remember what to do. I know where the trigger is, but shit, how do I take this thing apart and clean it again? No, you need to keep doing it yourself. Permaculture 7, rural area Wi-Fi internet company recommendation. All I can tell you is this. Pray to God your local area gets fiber optics or something like that. We had HughesNet for the first year and a half, 2 years. Well, actually 2 years we were here. And I mean, it was internet. It was crap and it was expensive. Okay. I mean, it was funny. They brought the power company out here, brought in fiber optic. I couldn't think of the name of it. Fiber optic about a year ago. We got 3 times the speed for half the price of HughesNet. That'll work. Okay. So yeah, what I would say is if any option, dial-up is almost better than satellite. If satellite's your only option, that's what you got. Yes, if anybody's wondering what this cup is, this is one that Zane made for me. U.S. Army there, E5 rank, MI insignia. So thank you, Zane. They did that a couple of months ago. I get good use out of the cup. It's insulated, so I like it. Kelly from Canada tried to refresh, but picture still blurry, but sound is good. Here for the info. Thanks. Sorry, nothing. Then it's your internet provider, because it seems like you guys are the only one that's having a problem. Irony question: do you think other things could be happening even though they're not reported on? Oh, hell yeah. Are you kidding? Again, YouTubers go to the depths of hell to find the information we find out. Okay. And even then, still, we're limited on what we can find out. Contrary to popular opinion, i.e., morons like Hal Turner, none of us have red phones to the White House. The CIA isn't calling me up and going, hey, Pinball, let me violate my security clearance and tell you what's going on. Okay. There's a lot of idiots on YouTube who say, I've got contacts with FEMA. I've got contacts with the FBI. I got contacts with the USPS. That's about it. Okay. And I guarantee none of them have anything better than that either. Because there's nobody in the Department of Justice who's going, you know what? I got this thing to leak, and I'm going to call my YouTube buddy. It's not working that way. Let's see. Mama preps for harvesting her garden while listening. There you go. Prep Rebel. Trolls are everywhere. The internet is not a free platform. Big Brother's always watching. Very true. And, not only is Big Brother watching, but so are the bad guys. Okay. And I'm not talking about liberals. I'm talking about the criminals. Okay. Jessica Butts. When the power goes out, what is a cheap way I can cook indoors? All right. Well, this is where you're going to have issues, okay? And this is where a lot of people kill themselves. Oh, I'll bring the barbecue grill inside. Oh, I've got something. if you've got the little hot plate, you got to have a generator of some sort to run your hot plate. That's going to work. If you get a chafing dish and sterno is halfway decent. Tea light candles in your oven, halfway decent. Okay. You're not cooking Thanksgiving turkey if the power goes out, guys. Okay. I mean, if you got electric, everything. All right. If you got gas, different story, whatever would be. All right. These are things that you need to think about. SHTF is not going to be, okay, how can I get myself so I live my relatively normal, comfortable life? No, it's going to be, how am I going to eat? Okay. You're not going to worry if that can of Campbell's tomato soup that you have in your preps is hot. You're worried that it's food. Okay. You're not making a pot roast, with the potatoes and the celery and the onions and, carrots. No, you're going, okay, it's a chunk of meat. How can I cook it just to make sure it's safe to eat? That's it. All right. Way too many people have this idea that the world's going to blow up everywhere except their house, and they're going to be still playing on their phones, still watching their Netflix, still sitting by their light and reading their book or their magazine or whatever, going to the bathroom, taking a shit and flushing the toilet. No, that ain't happening. Okay. You're going to be eating whatever you can possibly eat. If you can warm it, you're going to be indoors, okay? Because chances are you're going to be cooking outdoors. If you can warm it, you're going to be lucky. Oh, that pot of coffee, I hope to God you know how to make cowboy coffee. I hope you have a percolator somehow that you can put over an open fire, because that's the only way you're getting your coffee. All right. If you're lucky, maybe you can boil some water. Using your oven, using your microwave, forget about it. Tracy B, how are my sweet potatoes doing? Okay, so I can tell you this because we were out in the garden, like I said, cutting down corn stalks today. And so the sweet potatoes were right next to the corn stalks. The vines on there probably 6 to 8 feet long already. I mean, they are dark green, big, growing, and I've still got 7 weeks till I gotta pull potatoes out. They are looking fabulous in the hay bales or straw bales. Okay. Vester Dillon, I almost missed you. Just bought an air compressor off a marketplace, 10-gallon tank, 2.5 horse motor, great shape, $840. Damn straight, that's a good deal. No kidding. Now, think of all the different ways that you can use it. Besides putting air in tires, and I don't know if you're an airbrush artist or something like that, but, now start figuring out how it becomes a good prepper tool, okay, what you can use it for. Lucky Dame says, if you ask me a question, give him at least 10 minutes to work his way down before asking again. Yes. Canning Granny, I cover the camera on all my devices. Good. Doesn't mean it's not still listening to you. It's like the stupidest invention that people love. Oh, I've got Alexa. Oh, I've got Siri. What is it? Bixby on my Android phone. Yes, I'm not an Apple person. Never use them. Okay. Got to be the most idiotic thing ever. Siri, tell me what the weather is. Okay. As some guy in the basement of the Pentagon's going, Joe Schmo just asked what the weather is. Siri, tell me how to make a pressure cooker bomb. Siri, tell me what the price of 9mm ammunition is. Yeah. That's all you're doing is putting it out there to everybody. Okay. No. It's no different than typing it into Google, except now you're just putting your voice to it. There's, I can't go, well, no, I didn't say that. That was my daughter when she was on the computer. Really, Pinball, because that's an awfully deep voice for a woman. Okay. Let's see. Big Dog Ma, I made your grape wine weeks ago and tried it over the weekend. Turned out great. Thank you. There you go. It's good stuff. And I mean, it's cheap. I brewed up a couple of batches of beer last weekend, so I've got till the 11th till I can bottle it. So I've got that time. But yeah, I mean, I've tried the cranberry. I've tried the apple. The apple's good for Applejack. It's not good for apple wine. I don't like it. The grape is fabulous for a wine. For a good sweet red table wine. It's excellent. Permaculture 7, rural area Wi-Fi internet company recommendations for security cameras. None. Okay. Same reason I just said with Siri and all this sort of stuff. The last thing you want to do is hook up your security cameras to Wi-Fi. Okay. You want to have it on some sort of closed circuit system where the only way, and what I've got here is it goes from the camera wireless to the box, and then I've got a display on a little flat screen TV because it was a hell of a lot cheaper to monitor and worked fine. But no, it's not over the internet or anything like that because I don't need to be broadcasting to the rest of the world for somebody to hack into my security cameras. Okay. Remember this, guys, whatever you're doing on the internet, somebody else can get into. They can hack your computer. They can hack your bank account. Why the hell would you put your security on the internet? Nikki's Nook. What do we plant now for fall in Zone 8? I'm Zone 6B, so you're a zone-ish more than me. You're early on pretty much everything because I'm early yet. I'll be doing my cabbage, my beets, my radishes. If you want to do peas, you might want to start peas now. But you're too early. I mean, you if you're in Zone 8, you're probably not getting a first frost till late October, or I'm sorry, early November. It's still too early to plant for fall. Jay Myers, heard Pence thinking about running for president. Think he's a Democrat plant. Pence has about as much chance of winning as Liz Cheney does. Okay. Pence sealed his political fate on January 6th, okay, when he tucked his tail and that was it and didn't stand up for Trump, okay? Didn't say he had to do what Trump was asking, but he shouldn't have tucked his tail and hidden, okay? I'm loving all these comments about people talking about who's going to run in the last week, these people that are testing the waters. Liz Cheney might run. J.B. Pritzker might run. I mean, I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Liz Cheney's going to run as a Republican, where she's down 30 points in the most Republican state in the country. The only thing that scares me about Liz Cheney is if she runs as an independent and sucks some of the vote from the Republicans. The only thing is I get a feeling she might suck some of the vote from the moderate Democrats too. So we'll see. But yeah, like J.B. Pritzker's got a chance, like Gavin Newsom, AOC is going to run. I mean, the 2024 debates, guys, ought to be a freaking riot. If that's not must-see TV drinking game, who can out-stupid the other? I can't tell you what would be better. The sorry part is these are the best people our country has to offer. I mean, really? Anybody in their right mind goes, you know what? I really think AOC should represent us on a world stage and should be the leader of the free world. Who in their right mind even I don't care if you are a liberal Democrat, who in their right mind thinks she's got what it takes up here to, I mean, she couldn't run a bar. You think she's going to run a country? Karen Reinerson, there are no bees to pollinate. I'm getting almost nothing. Okay, two things. You are going to need to hand pollinate. Okay. And you are definitely going to need to plant flowers. And, you know, next year, because I mean, it's too late at this point. But for this year, you are definitely need to get out and hand pollinate. Go buy yourself some little paintbrushes, some artist brushes, and start hand pollinating your flowers or your vegetables. It's your only option. Melody, Luke, and Bill, is it okay if potato flakes get frozen in storage? Depends. If they were completely dehydrated and there was no oxygen, no moisture whatsoever in the bag, they should be okay. If they aren't, that should be okay, because they should almost have freeze dried at that point. Otherwise, you're going to have moisture and mold and you're done. So, I mean, if there's any oxygen whatsoever in those bags, I mean, unless they look like a brick of coffee, throw them out. Prepping for heaven, worms are great for the garden. Oh, absolutely. There's no question about that. Let's see. Flint McRock, where can I get good directions for connecting 412 C-band solar panels in parallel or in series? All you need are those little Y connectors that you can get, the MC4 Y connectors on YouTube. They are $8 a piece or something like that. Real simple. Jay Myers, all near military bases for a lot of the property. I'm assuming you're talking about the Chinese buying stuff. Oh yeah, I mean, and you know, they sure, they're not dumb. Hey, we can plant food here and we can spy on the Air Force. Yeah. Let's see. One John M. Thompson, Pinball, what are your thoughts on the reported 50 million silver purchase of physical silver? I haven't heard anything about it. I'd love to hear that. That would drive the price up, but I have not heard a word about it. Sorry. Morning Light, whatever happened to that Trump media that was started? Yeah, with the Truth Social or whatever it is. I mean, it was a novelty. I mean, you know, again, Trump's no different than anybody else, guys. All right. You know, what is it? 3 out of 10 businesses make it. I mean, how many Trump deals failed? Trump University, we all heard that one. You know, Trump Wines, whatever it would be. You know, hey, tried social media. I don't know. You know, maybe it's got some people. It's certainly not competing with Twitter. Okay. Uh, you know, the people that are on there go, oh yeah, this is great. But people wise, no. Redbeard, DBA Deadpool says would love to convince his wife to help him prep. Yeah, it's just send her to the grocery store, give her $100 bill and say, honey, you need to go buy two weeks of groceries. We could do it 2 years ago. Why can't you do it now? Rice-A-Roni, Pinball, French press is great for coffee, just boiling water. Right. I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. How many people have a French press? Not that they're that expensive, about $40. Okay. How many people have a French press? I'd say if we're lucky, 5% of preppers. Lynn Rossi, will my pond be deep enough for fish or is it for water source only? No, it'll be deep enough for fish. I'm putting bluegill, bass, and catfish in there. Uh, once we get it, I mean, it's all that rain we had where I showed you guys where it's full, it's all receded back to the stumps. That's how much it's leaking. But I've got to get it graded correctly and then sealed. And that's where I'm at with it right now. But yes, it will be, by the time we're done, it'll be about 7 feet deep on the deep end. And then gradually all the way up to 2. So be fine for fish. And again, remember, I'm in Tennessee. We don't get, it's not going to, I'm never going to be able to go out and ice skate on it. Let's put it that way. Shirley Parker, I'm not having any luck with zucchini this year. Funny is we've harvested 2. Okay. I planted 6 plants. 4 came up, or 4 survived the transplant. I've harvested 2 zucchini. Right now I have 1 that's probably about that long, and I was out looking at it today. I've got 1 that, oh, here's a surprise, is a yellow crookneck squash. Nope, not a zucchini. Okay. Guess what? It was in zucchini seeds, and those are purchased seeds again. So yeah, again, second example on squash, not the right ones in the bag. Kathleen Ralston, question, can you grow a grapevine from a cutting, and can you show us how, if it is possible? I don't know. I would assume you can. I do not know. My grapes, I purchased 3-year-old grapevines, which, are that big, and they are growing into my trellises. So I do not know if you can do it from a cutting. I'd assume you can, but don't quote me on that. I've never done it. This is my first foray into growing grapes. Denise Doodles, I just pulled my garlic today. It's half the size what it normally is. What's up? When did you plant it? Okay. If you planted it in the spring, you probably harvested too early. Garlic takes 9 months, guys. Okay. Garlic is something that will overwinter, no problem. I will be planting my garlic around Halloween. I will be harvesting it next July. You need phosphorus and potassium in the ground for it to bulb. It's like any other root vegetable. So, and again, where did you get your garlic cloves that you planted? Okay. Just because you bought them from some fancy place online doesn't mean that's the right garlic that grows in your area. You're better off finding a farmer's market or something like that and buying whatever garlic you want to do that's grown locally, because it's going to be acclimated to your soil and your weather conditions. So I know that for a fact because I've tried the fancy garlics before and they suck. I buy the garlic from the grocery store, grows fine. New England Prepper 23, just canned my second batch of strawberry jam and my canned dill relish now. Cool. My strawberry plants that one of y'all sent me, I think about 2/3 of them survived, are all planted. One's got a runner on it, and so they're starting to grow in a little bit. I'm hoping I will have a few strawberries next year. So that's it. Let's see. J. Meyer, seriously, who has good donuts in Tennessee? There's the big controversy. Depending on where you are, some people love Krispy Kreme donuts. They're good. Okay. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy. Okay. Especially Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Any of you guys up in Massachusetts will definitely agree with me because y'all live on Dunkin' Donuts. I remember this, I kid you not, guys. When I lived in New Hampshire, and for those of you guys that live up there, I lived in Newmarket. I worked in Stratham. Maybe it was 5 miles from my house to my office. there were 5 Dunkin' Donuts on my way to my office. Yeah. In 5 miles, there were 5 of them. Okay. Give me a Boston cream and a cup of black Dunkin' Donuts coffee, I'm golden. Okay. So a lot of people down here like Krispy Kreme. No problem. They're decent donuts. Okay. The originals. Okay. Krispy Kremes, anything other than the originals don't even hold a candle anywhere near to Dunkin' Donuts. So, Amanda Wilkerson, what about freeze drying meats instead of canning them? Yes, but okay. What are you planning on doing with them? They're not going to be nearly the same when you try to reconstitute them and turn them into a stew. You're going to have a jerky stew. Uh, chewing on like that. At least with the canning, I'm going to have tender meat. With dehydrating, you're going to have jerky. I'll leave that one alone. RK, definitely don't invest in a copy of the Black Cookbook. I'm going to leave it alone. Purring Lady, in the old spy days, you got rid of any listening devices. Now folks bring them into their homes. Ain't that the truth? That's a good idea. D-Freak, put Applejack in French toast. That's actually a really good idea. I've never thought of that. That sounds good. The last thing I need at 7 o'clock in the morning is to put a little bit of liquor in me. Garden Grower, watch how Pawpaw's channel makes wine so easy and so cheap. It works great. Actually, the way he does it is extremely similar to the way I do it. I've watched his videos. Country Humans Grease fan, what do I think of Ring? I'm assuming you mean the Ring doorbell. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, again, because it's internet-based. Morning Light, I tried the same recipe with a fruit cocktail. I'm hoping you're not trying to make wine out of fruit cocktail. That'd be nasty. Nana KK, woman is a human being that can reproduce. Sounds like a good definition to me. Oops, hang on. Dennis Russ, will I make a beer making video? I've done that before. It's in there somewhere. Let's see. Trust me, I've made how to make beer, how to make wine, how to make vape juice. I mean, the one I have not done, how to make Applejack is in there. I have not done how to distill spirits because I've never done that. Okay. Ever. Okay. So, no, I can't tell you how to make your homemade moonshine. There's probably, Bearded and Bored is a good one. If you want to learn how to make moonshine or learn how to make all sorts of different stuff, Bearded and Bored. Go watch his channel. It's great. If you want to learn how to make booze. J.S. Thomas, Southern Kansas, zucchini okay for a fall crop? I doubt it because zucchini is something that likes the heat of summer. Excuse me. Prep Rebel, just watch what the ATF did on the Ring video. Give me a break. There's your answer. Okay. How'd that video come out? Oh, gee, it was the Ring video. I posted the video. Here it says Ring in the corner. Where'd I get it, guys? The internet. Okay. You want your life, anybody that knocks on your door on the internet, go get a Ring video. Let's see. I don't understand what that question is, so I'm just going to skip it. Eyes Wide says, I heard AOC might run. Like I said, that's a popcorn and a case of beer night just to watch. Jay Myers, seen a mail truck in the cemetery today. Must be dropping off ballots for early voting. That's classic, dude. That's awesome. I'd have got pictures. You could have got a picture of that and gone viral with that one easy. Let's see. Alvin Smith, question. You said before you have a drone for security. What brand and model? I've got to go pull it out and look at it. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I mean, it's one of these little ones here that you got a little camera on that goes right to my phone. Yes, that one is internet based. Don't care about that. Okay. Well, it's Wi-Fi based. I'm sorry, not internet based. So if Wi-Fi is, or Bluetooth, that's what I'm looking for. There we go, Bluetooth based. So, Clayton Blaze, Pinball, good evening. Penguin 6 just showed Mr. T back in DC in a motorcade. Interesting. He's probably going for one of these rallies or whatever it is. I mean, there's been a bunch of them here. And it is 9 o'clock. Okay, I will find one more here real quick, and we're gonna wrap it up. And yeah, there you go. Jay Myers, I'll leave with this. His comment: AOC running for president is like having brain surgery without anesthesia. Well, for her, it wouldn't matter, because she has no feelings and she has no brain. So that would be a normal day. All right, guys, it's 9 o'clock. Have a good one. Go watch Angry Prepper. We'll see y'all in the morning. Pinball out.